I present to you your queen, Queen Buttercup.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish, filth, slime, muck. Boo! Boo!
What's up, guys? It's your boy, Benny. You ever been in a toxic relationship? Maybe it didn't start out that bad, but man, it got terrible after a while, and you're like, how can I possibly be with this person? And you end up breaking it off. You end up saying, boo! Murder! Well, that's the situation that many Democrats find themselves in right now. Hopefully you didn't date a murderer, but Democrats certainly elected one. Joe Biden has murdered our economy, murdered our border, murdered the American dreams, and murdered Americans with fentanyl, open borders, ordering people to their deaths in Afghanistan. Who helped this horrible person take office? Well, places like Massachusetts, blue states. Look at this. Massachusetts voted big time for Joe Biden over Donald Trump. Places like Nantucket in particular. This place is a little island, little private island right here, like entirely run by and populated by smug, a-hole, white elitist, rich libs, period. Those are the people who live in Nantucket, all right? They voted 72% to 26% for Joe Biden, okay? They couldn't stand Donald Trump there. But you know what? They realized after 3 years of Joe Biden that they are in a toxic relationship. And that is why the people of Nantucket are booing Joe Biden. They're saying, boo, murderer, get out of my house. Please, stop sniffing my kids. Shame on you. Joe Biden gets booed and heckled on the streets of Nantucket as protesters are kept away from the president after interrupting his shopping trip. Okay? So what a great image for president to send right now. There are American hostages that are still being held by Hamas. The world is on fire, and Joe Biden is doing a little shopping trip inside of a private island. A private island that voted 70+% for him, and he's still getting booed. Protesters were kept about 6 blocks from Biden on Saturday. Biden's motorcade took a different route into town to avoid driving past a group of protesters gathered on the side of the road. Biden's family's Nantucket stay has been repeatedly interrupted by protesters. You'll love to see it. Meanwhile, down south, Donald Trump's having standing ovations. 50,000 people in packed stadiums roaring, deafening roar for Donald Trump. Joe Biden was booed and heckled on the streets of Nantucket on Saturday while people were protesting the war in Gaza, kept far away from the president, along with a bunch of other stuff for Joe Biden. President's motorcade took a different route, staying in a $34 million home on Abrams Point. Nothing says solidarity with the American people and with the pain that we are suffering right now economically than Joe Biden staying in a $34 million billionaire's home on a private island. A private island that voted 70+% for him, and he still can't avoid the people booing him to his face. About 40 people calling for an end to the fighting in Palestine were kept on one side of Main Street, so they silenced the protesters. Biden was out shopping with his wife Jill and his criminal son, Hunter Biden, and the grandchildren. The protesters had large banners, ceasefire forever, and pause is just a pause, permanent ceasefire, Gaza live. So here's Joe Biden unable to even find the straw, to put the straw into his mouth. And Joe Biden getting booed. We have the footage of it. Man, it is hilarious. Watch. Ooh, baby. Oh, man. You're going to hear that one. Here are the faces of the leftist protesters screaming at Joe Biden. Here's Joe Biden creepily holding his granddaughter's hand. And here are the protesters that caused Joe Biden to take a different route. Yeah. Here's this smug a-hole kid of Joe Biden, who's the world's greatest degenerate human piece of garbage, who's allowed to still parade freely when you would be put in prison for even a scintilla of what he's done. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the protesters. Here's Joe Biden wobbling around robotically. These people, here are people like presumably probably paid to look happy about seeing Joe Biden. Joe Biden completely blissful and unaware Look at how decrepit he looks. I mean, he looks just like the Crypt Keeper. Thinning hair, translucent skin. Again, the goofy straw. You can't even find his mouth. This is apparently Joe Biden and his granddaughter, Maisie Biden. Woof, Buzz, your girlfriend. Here are the protesters continuing to protest Biden. This is hysterical. We continue. Joe Biden, not knowing who he is, where he is, wobbling around on the street. I have a great POV footage of this. You can hear the protesters screaming in the background. Watch Joe Biden as he walks past some dude who was filming him, and the dude's like, keep going, just shut up, keep going. Joe Biden stops to try and like talk with the guy, and he's like, flip off, dude. You hear the protesters? Here comes Joe.
Don't mind leaning over too much. I appreciate it.
Sorry, we had been trapped on the porch. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. How you doing, Mr. President?
Good hat.
Appreciate that, yeah. USS Nantucket.
Appreciate you, sir. Good to see you guys. Have a good day.
Can't even turn his head. Can't even move his head. Like, again, this is, again, look at this. Can't even turn his head. He's trying to like look at the guy. And then everyone's like, what are you doing? Huh? What? What's happening? Look at Jill. What a battle axe. Look at Jill. Look at this absolute slob. Look at her skull and crossbone pants, yoga pants. What a slob she is. What trash, white trash, Jill Biden. She's just such a despicable looking person. What an absolute slob. Look at her. Look what you're wearing. You're wearing yoga pants? You're 70 years old. What are you doing? Do you have any dignity? What a mess. She's all disheveled. What a disaster. What message is she trying to send here with his skull and crossbones? Yeah. My husband's a murderer. Please. Look at this. Them and their stupid, despicable families. They're just such slobs. Look at them all. They're just slobs. You can't get dressed up. You'd never see the Trumps walking out like this. You've never seen Melania out in a pair of yoga pants, schlomping around. What a disease this family is. Such an amazing clip, note here from the Daily Mail. Biden, you can't hide. We will charge you with genocide, they chanted. A man went up to the microphone to remind them that this is a community tree lighting event. This was at a tree lighting in Nantucket. And he respected their right to free speech and encouraged them to stop. They resisted, but their message was drowned out by the crowd cheering and loud Christmas music playing. The children's choir rushed over to the president. In the interim, the demonstrators were all Nantucket natives or currently live on the island. Nantucket Island has long been considered an exclusive vacation for the rich tourists. However, protests around Friday night included island residents that are pushing back from their island community being used as a safe haven for politicians and wealthy elites. Nice. Good. Christmas tree lighting, Biden family's last stop in a day of taking over downtown Nantucket for several hours. The president's traditional Black Friday jaunt was delayed due to the first release of hostages from Gaza. Oh man! So they couldn't even get their Christmas tree lighting arranged, and they had to move the choir over just to save the Bidens. Headlines from the New York Post: Biden goes Black Friday shopping with criminal son in tow as world awaits release of hostages. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is just out shopping. You can't afford to eat, pay your mortgage, but Joe Biden is out shopping with his family, his criminal family, and his wife in yoga pants. What a nightmare. What a nightmare. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the footage of the protesters chanting about genocide with Joe Biden. These are the, look at that. They showed up to chant at him. Let's go ahead and watch here.
Excuse me, this is a community tree lighting. We respect your right to free speech. We'll just ask this is not a political event. We respect your right to free speech. We hope that everyone enjoys a very Merry Christmas. This is a community event. It is not a political event. Thank you very much.
Biden lied. You can't hide. We'll charge you with genocide, says the protesters. The protesters voted for Joe Biden. Oh, well. What do you know? You can't always get what you want. Or are you getting exactly what you wanted? You know what? If you're upset at this, put on a MAGA hat. Vote Trump. That's the answer. Put on the MAGA hat. The MAGA hat stays on, and vote Donald Trump. Pricks. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time that Joe Biden has been booed inside of a blue state. We've brought you footage from Connecticut and footage from New Jersey and footage from New York. Here is footage from Lake Tahoe, another quaint, private, liberal area in a blue state where Joe Biden is getting absolutely roasted trying to talk to the press outside of his car.
Talking to UAW, obviously I'm concerned. I think that there should be a circumstance where the jobs that are being displaced, replaced with new jobs, they should go, the first choice should go to the UAW members who had the job, and the salary should be commensurate.
People booing Joe Biden in Lake Tahoe, California. This is what was happening outside of Joe Biden's residence, even though he doesn't ever happen to be there, the White House. Joe Biden! Joe Biden! Joe Biden! These are happy people chanting F Joe Biden outside of the White House. Just a reminder, these are the people that Joe Biden... This is the people that Joe Biden is trying to empower in the nation. These are the people who voted for Joe Biden, presumably. Well, not anymore. This is what the most recent polls look like for the general election. Trump versus Biden. Real clear politics. Wow. Look at that. Donald Trump skyrocketing. 47, 44. This is, of course, the aggregate of polls. And, of course, polling is broken on behalf of Democrats. So when Trump is up by plus 2 points in the polls, that means probably a plus 20-point, 40-point landslide for Donald Trump. That means Donald Trump getting 400 electoral votes. There's just no other way to say this. These polls are rigged against Republicans. The reason why is because Republicans don't trust these pollsters. Oh, hi, I'm with Harvard Harris. Oh, I'm really going to answer honestly when somebody from Harvard calls me? Give me a break. I'm from NBC News. You're not going to answer honestly. I'm from YouGov. No. Morning Consult. Republicans aren't going to answer honestly to Yahoo and Quinnipiac. So you're always going to over-index like 10 or 20 points by Democrats on these polls, and Donald Trump's still leading. Plus 4, 6, 6, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2. It's incredible. It's incredible. Never in my wildest dreams. You know I like Donald Trump a lot, but like never in my wildest dreams. But I think I'd see stuff like this. And you don't need to read the fancy polls. All you need to do is watch what it sounded like when Donald Trump took the field in South Carolina last night. Donald Trump walking out of the field. I hope your volume is level because this one's going to blow your eardrums out. The screaming, the cheering, the audacity, by the way. The audacity for the press to say that this was people booing Donald Trump. Check this tweet out. From Newsweek, Trump was greeted by loud boos. Seems like somebody is hurting from watching how Joe Biden is greeted in Nantucket, place that voted for him by 70%. No, actually, this doesn't sound like loud boos. Sorry, facts are stubborn things. There's your people's president right there. Listen to the cheers. And it's still going on. Joe Biden. See, that's the amazing thing. I just turned it down so I can talk because the cheers are so loud, it like rattles my earpiece. Joe Biden would never, because the entire stadium would boo at Joe Biden. At least Donald Trump is in the arena. Donald Trump is the man in the arena. Joe Biden would never, ever dare go to a public event like this. You never see Joe Biden at public events like this. They kept the protesters followed him to a Christmas tree lighting. He couldn't go to a Christmas tree lighting on a private island that voted for him 70%. And here's what it sounds like when Donald Trump sits in the box. The man in the arena, ladies and gentlemen. The man in the arena. A remarkable week, a remarkable moment in time. This is going to be an election unlike any other. We are so excited for it. And we believe, ladies and gentlemen, that we will prevail. Remember, keep fighting. And keep your eyes on the man in the arena, not the fraud on his private island, in his billionaire's residence, sicking his goons on silencing you for calling him out on destroying this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm done with it. You are done with it. Tis this Christmas season of miracles. I'm ready for a miracle. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See ya.